just found an excuse or forgot about it, and I never actually came. And then, so she called me over, and like right away, I knew something special about these people. Like Kevin was there, Mitch was there, working the table on the side, and Amy was there, and a bunch of cool people. So, right away I thought, these are like, the men and women of God, my brothers and sisters in Christ, like this is who I should be surrounding myself with. And then, so I knew I'd be Veritas. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'll do that. And then, so I came on Wednesday, and then, went to the meeting, and then, to church and adoration after. And then it was at that point where I just, fell in love with adoration and, started going to as many events as I could, trying to get involved with the community. I just feel, so blessed, so many, good people and stuff like that. That's, and I feel like, right now my situation is uncertain as to whether I can, come back next year. Wherever, that's a long story, I'll show you later. But, so even if, I was always praying throughout high school that I would make the right decision as a college, that's a really huge decision to make. So, even if I don't get to stay here for 1 year, which, I'll pay to this community, I believe that God, at least wanted me to go here to, experience this and, deepen my faith and meet all these awesome people. And, even if I don't come back next year, I'll be busy and come out retreats whenever I can. So, I feel so blessed to be here.
Thanks, Casey. You bless us too. Any others? Ollie?
Can you repeat the question?
That was my question.
The question is, in the last 8 months,
8 months.
or the school year,
Right.
how has God worked through his ministry, your connection to students, to enrich your spiritual life?
Okay. Real quick. I had shared with Father earlier. I just came directly from O's camp, where a Reverend Doctor, he has PhDs, very smart man, was giving a presentation on sexuality, gender, and religion. I won't go into detail, but it wasn't for me, I would say. It was an easy way to put it. And I left at 7 and went until 8. I think it's still going on. And I ran over here because this feels so right. And Veritas proclaims the word truth, and that's what it is. And it just feels so right. And it's so strange that tonight, going from that situation where not only was I not feeling it, it felt quite bad to be in such environment, but over here we have something entirely different. It's so enriched. And then to go back, one more quick story. When we went on Koinonia, it was right before midterms. And Father was like, I understand it's a big sacrifice, but I promise you, God will give you what you need in your schoolwork if you dedicate that time to Him. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. I'm not going to study anyway. I can't lose. And so, I went on Koinonia, and I did notice that it wasn't miraculously that I just got awesome test scores out of luck, but I noticed that in my time of studying in preparation for my exams, that I was absorbing all the material at such a fast rate. And it was literally God giving me the promise of my schoolwork for that time I dedicated to Him selflessly. So, a couple cool stories. Thank you.
It's my turn. Okay, so you guys might not have expected this from me, but my name's Brittany Smith. I know most of you here. I don't know Casey very well, so I'm glad you shared it. But anyways, my name's Brittany, and I'm a sophomore here, but I also transferred here. And a lot of you guys can know me as I talk a lot, and I talk real fast, and I don't like to stop. And you guys probably wouldn't believe this, but before I came here, I was actually a quiet person. Yeah, I'll give you guys a moment to take that in. But anyways, I was just I was really quiet. I was really kept to myself. I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I didn't have a whole lot of friends. My life at home was awful, and I can't hardly I couldn't hardly get along with my parents. Couldn't get along with my siblings. Didn't have a lot of friends. Ball State, I sat in my room most of the time, and I did a lot of my work. There, my roommates were that great. We didn't bond together at all. And it was a really bad experience for me when I just like before I came here, and then I get here, and I think the first time I came here was pretty on the parking lot, and everybody just like came to me. The people who've been here before, especially Amy. I remember Amy was really sad, but I remember Amy came to me. And she's just like, "Hi, my name is Amy Loxton," and she just how about like what's your name? Where are you from? And things like that. You guys were all like around me. I'm like, I'm sorry. But it was awesome, and you guys all wanted to be my friend, and you guys are, and I love you guys. And you guys have filled me up so much over this past year. And I have friends, and it's just like, it seems pathetic for her talking about how she was friendless and she came here. You guys are like the first people that I've actually had like, a true friendship with. And I actually, there's like inside things that St. Thomas has, like, that I participate in. And when I was back in high school, like my friends would get together on the weekends and they would have their things, and I'm like, man, I have not heard of any insight, anything. And I have things now that I pick up on and I understand. I don't know, it's just great to feel like part of something. That's all.
Any other questions?
Oh, mine, I was supposed to, that was a Koinonia plug, so if you haven't gone and you want to know about it, here, anyone, just what it is, I highly advise you to do so.
Unrelenting marketing. Thank
Yeah. Well, I've gotten, so I don't know.
you. Any other experiences? Jasmine?
I lived in a women's household this year, which was a new experience for me. Not living with other people. I'm the oldest of like a bajillion siblings, so I mean I always live with people. But just living with 3 other women that I would have never under other circumstances lived with was probably the best, worst decision I ever made. By the end of September, I very adamantly remember saying I will never do this again. I want to have no part in this, and yet somehow I found myself meandering into Andrew's office at the beginning of the semester asking for a household application. I don't know, and so I am doing it again. But it gave me, living in the household gave me the ability to not only grow like personally, but grow alongside my roommates, as different as we are, and we are different. Like grow alongside them and help and just grow within the community among the other women and even the men in the community and the men's household, and just see like what that looks like and bring that to other students. And and now I can say I live in the women's household, and I love this. And like we have prayer time, we have meal time, and and share my faith with other women who believe the same things I believe. And so like for me, that's what the ministry has done for me this year.
When it comes to character formation, forming our character, forming a will, quite honestly, character formation, the strength of character, happens through trial. Okay, that's the reality of life. If you want to grow into being a mature leader, person of character, person of integrity, it will happen through trial. And I say this, and among so many different ministries that are available, Bible studies, Koinonia, Veritas, other small group learning opportunities, one of the most formative experiences, I think, the most formative, is household to me. And that is that small group of people who feel like they're ready to make a commitment to live together as brothers in Christ or sisters in Christ. And in doing that, they put themselves in an environment where, it's like iron on iron. They sharpen each other. And it requires kind of the ability to know what is sacrificial love, to know how to love the other, how to work through challenges, how to work through difficulty, how to be there for the other. It's really an experience of preparing for family. It's probably the most formative experience. It's not for everybody, but for those who are called to that household living, it really will sharpen and develop one for life. I would really encourage encourage you, as Catholics, we say we're a Eucharistic people. That means Eucharist is a Greek term for Thanksgiving. Over the next week and a half, as you're getting ready for exams, academic point, reflect back on the year. And reflect back on how God has touched you the course of this year. And then be a person of thanksgiving. Be a Eucharistic person. Be a person of gratitude. And thank God. Thank God in prayer for that. Thank those who God used to be that moment of grace for you. Be a person of thanksgiving, a person of prayer. That requires them to also be a person of recollection. So we've got to think that about. So what is campus ministry into our future? Well, I got to tell you, I think we've got a great, bright future. In part because we have an awesome bishop, Bishop Leonard Blair, who has a passion for campus ministry. He's been in our diocese, served in our diocese for the last 6 years. And in his 6-year time, he has made a commitment to be sure that every community college, small liberal arts college in our diocese is being served in campus ministry. Now, they all look very different. Prior to his arrival, the campus ministry centers are Bowling Green, here at St. Thomas More, and Corpus Christi, University of Toledo. And since that time, while he's given some tremendous support to us, he's also expanded campus ministry to community colleges and other small colleges in his diocese. That's an awesome statement from a bishop. Particularly a bishop who struggles with, declining resources, a declining financial base, a declining number of priests available to serve his church. And yet, despite the challenges, he continues to direct energy and resources to campus ministry. The future campus ministry at William State University is bright because we have a chief shepherd who's leading us in truly shepherding us. And we must be grateful for that, so very grateful. For those who live in the Diocese of Toledo, if your paths ever cross our bishop, extend to him a word of gratitude for what he allows to happen in his future. So, to our bishop. Our future is bright too because God has given us a history and tradition to build on. At the parish, our parish continues to do planning so that we can fulfill the mission of radiating Christ across the campus of William State University. We do that in so many different ways. We do that, as I mentioned, as a parish community, a family who provide the sacraments, provide formation for the Catholic community of William State University. We do that through offering housing. And we do that for our student group, and we do that for other ministry programs. And know that our student leaders are a part of conversations, our parish mission team is a part of conversation, others leaders and staff are part of conversations of building a future for us so that we have 50 years down the road done the work today so that they're celebrating and being served in campus ministry. Formally speaking, the parish is doing a strategic planning process. Some students here are part of that process with various teams. Just to give you a little update on that, the strategic plan is to try to create a 3 to 5 year plan that is strategic, meaning it places the strategic necessary steps in order to achieve the vision. The planning process has been going on for over a year and a half, and this team of students and year-round parishioners have done their homework. They surveyed the parish at large. They surveyed different Newman centers. They met with faculty and administrators. They had town hall meetings to try to gather as much input as possible about St. Thomas More and our outreach. What are the 5 priorities we need to identify to help fulfill our vision? And they've identified those and they're working on those. Briefly, those 5 priorities are a development program, an advancement program. To do what needs to be done requires money. Our Sunday collections, which you all contribute to, just don't cut it. Thank you for what you give and continue to tithe as you are able, but the development of resources beyond our parish Sunday collections are critical. That's the word for our whole development and advancement. So that's one of the priorities. One of the other priorities is how well we inform our young children in sacramental preparation and CCF. The third priority is our relationship of our year-round parishioners who are here with us year after year, and how are we integrating our new student population into our existing population. don't always do that.